These 3 anime changed my life forever. Next episode, next story. Let's do this. If you like abstract, funny, and real-world anime content, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. By now, I'm sure you probably noticed, but if you haven't, Sailor Moon is my all-time favorite anime. I am an OG Moonie, and I never miss an opportunity to spread the gospel of Princess Serenity. However, Sailor Moon isn't the only anime that changed my life. It was just the first one. To start, I've mentioned several times that Sailor Moon was the first anime I ever watched as a child. I remember being a kid and looking forward to the Sailor Says segment at the end of the episodes. So imagine my surprise when I found out that part wasn't even canon. But anyways, when it comes to how I feel about friendships, being kind to people, having the feeling that you could save everyone without leaving anybody behind, even being confused about police brutality when they're supposed to be the ones helping us, that was all directly influenced by Sailor Moon. So deeply that I got her tatted on me twice. But that's not all. Did you know Sailor Moon is actually how I passed the millennial test? One of the defining characteristics of a millennial is remembering 9/11 and being able to answer what you were doing when you found out. I remember coming home and turning on the TV to Cartoon Network just like any other day and seeing the coverage of the Twin Towers as a child. Now, I didn't understand everything that was happening then, but I'll never forget that day because every channel was showing the towers, and it was the first time that I missed Sailor Moon after school. I know that's a very sad occasion in memory, so to brighten things up and on a sillier note, I'm a crybaby and I sleep a lot just like Usagi. I wouldn't be the person that I am today, nor would I own all of the Sailor Moon paraphernalia I own without this show. Up next is Enu Yasha. As a child, I loved to read. Then I started to hate it around middle school and fell back in love with it as an adult. Now, this is significant because Enu Yasha was the first manga I ever bought and read. Before even knowing what the hell a manga was, I was so excited to go to the bookstore every week just to ask my mom to buy me an Enu Yasha book. So technically my mom was the first one that bought it, but you get the point. Now, how I started watching Enu Yasha was purely by accident. One night I woke up and saw Kagome on TV, and of course I thought she was Sailor Moon, so I kept watching. Now, I later realized it was a completely different show, but by then I was already invested in the search for the Shikan jewel shards. And the rest is history. I remember trying to let myself go to sleep for a few hours and then try to wake myself up when it was going to still be airing, and it seldom worked. I used to always wake up right at the end of the episode, which brings me to my last point. Inuyasha's soundtrack is peak music. Find me a show, just one show, with a better ending theme right now. You can. Last but certainly not least, we have Yu Yu Hakusho. Now, this one molded me a little later in life. I faintly remember seeing it on Toonami, but for the most part, this is a series that I watched as an adult. We all know the creator of Yu Yu Hakusho is married to the creator of Sailor Moon, so I'll skip that part. And we also know that the basis of the Hunter x Hunter characters are the Yu Yu Hakusho characters, so I'll skip that too. This show was the first time I liked a supporting character more than the main character. I used to get so mad when my friends would talk about anime and they always hated the protagonist, and I'd be like, how you gonna hate the main character? It's literally their show. But I understood that the moment I was introduced to Kurama. Now, Kurama inspired my forearm tattoo, and so far, it's the only anime tattoo that I have outside of Sailor Moon. Now, why did I like Kurama so much? He was pretty OP, but most importantly, he had a maturity that I seldom see in anime starring younger characters. And he had a lot of appeal. If you know, you know. Now, as far as his maturity, it especially showed in his relationship with his human mother. You see, Kurama, as a great fox demon, initially struggled with his humanity and he viewed humans as inferior. But eventually he grows to love his mother deeply, to the point where he's willing to sacrifice his own life to save her, although Yusuke steps in and saves him. Now, this in particular touches me because I was raised by two very outstanding women and I would do absolutely anything for them. So naturally, Kurama and his relationship with his mother really resonated with me. So, being a great friend, circling back to make sure the person who got cut off finishes their statement, loving to read, understanding the devotion to maternal figures. All of that stuck with me through these 3 anime. I'm not saying they're the best of all time, but they're certainly the best to me. So tell me, which anime changed your life? When one arc ends, another one begins. See you next time.